welcome everybody to a special edition of the Pint Size Podcast. You're inside the Marketing Minute with the marketing coach, Donovan Boyd. I wanted to sit here and talk to you guys about balance. A lot of times we hear people always talk about work-life balance, or they struggle with balancing the different responsibilities or tasks that they may have in their life. And this is a huge topic, and I believe it's a huge topic because a lot of times I don't think that people take the time out to really try to manage and really balance what they have going on in their lives. It takes some effort. It takes some responsibility. It takes some accountability. These things are very necessary in what we call balance, what we call time management, what we call clock management, what we call work-life balance, and that's a very big thing. We all have a lot of different things going on in our lives, whether it's family life, whether it's school, whether it's work. If we're running on our own businesses like myself and, the other folks, my other co-hosts on the podcast, all business owners, all family men. Millie is in school. So, it's very important that we understand this concept of time. My newest book, Clock Management, I dive into different ways to help you manage your time, manage your business, manage the different things that you have going on in your life so that you create balance and you're not overworking yourself. You're not lacking in certain areas where you should be thriving, and you're not missing out on certain things going on in your family life because you're devoted to one specific thing, or you're so locked in on the goal that you can't see everything else that's going on around you. So my new book, Clock Management, A Parent's Guide to Managing Family and Business, right? So I wrote this book because I had a lot of things going on in my life, and I was so career driven at one point in time, and I wanted the big house, and I wanted the fancy car, and I wanted all the clothes and the money and the shoes. So my whole focus was dedicated to work. Not only am I a husband, but I'm also a father as well. So I had so much different things going on in my life and so many other responsibilities, but I was so locked in on one goal. I was chasing the bag, trying to get to the money, and I was not being present. I was not being able to be the husband and the father that I needed to be because I was so focused on just providing. Some different circumstances in my life came about, and it gave me a different perspective. My daughter, a lot of people know, but my daughter was born with a condition called truncus arteriosus, and just her condition kind of opened up my eyes, kind of opened up my family's eyes, and just gave us a different perspective on what time really meant, and how precious time is, and how, if not utilized properly, it can get away from you, and a lot of things can suffer if we do not understand the importance of how to balance that time. So in the book, one thing in particular, or two things in particular, that I'm going to talk to you today about that really sticks out to me. It really sticks out to the different business owners and just different people that I come in contact with, that I see this is a lack, that they're lacking in this area. Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss is, did you call the right play? And what that means is, if I can break it down to you, did you call the right play? Did you make the right decision? Did you go after the right goal? Was this the right time to pursue that degree? Was this the right time to open up that restaurant, open up this business? Was this the right time to have a child, right? So did you call the right play? And it's so important because a part of calling the right play is really having great communication with the people around you, right? Whether it's your children, whether it's your spouse, whether it's coworkers, whether it's your parents, whoever's in your life that you are accountable for, and they are accountable for you. Are you calling the right play? Is it the right time to pursue whatever goal it is that you are trying to pursue? We sometimes opportunities come, but all opportunities aren't great opportunities. All opportunities are not for us in that moment. Every time something comes up to us, that does not mean we have to jump on it. There's times where we have to sit, we have to pray, we have to meditate to make sure that these right opportunities are for us. And the reason why I say, did you call the right play? And the reason why I talk about this in my book is because as a husband, I have to make sure that opportunities and businesses and things that I'm going after falls in line with what my wife has going on, falls in line with what my children have going on. It falls in line with everything that we have going on in our lives. And if it does not fit, or we can't discuss it to see if it fits, then we don't force it. We do not make, if we make sound decisions about everything that's going on in our lives. And that's one of the ways that you maintain that balance. That's one of the main ways that you maintain that cohesiveness, because you've talked about the different things that's going on in your life. You've prioritized the things that are important. Whoever's in your life, you guys have had discussions about whatever it is that you guys are doing, the goals that you are trying to accomplish, and everybody is on one page. Okay. And this is so important because, like many of us, not just us, have a lot of different things going on in our lives. And it is so important that we understand how and what we do, how it affects others and how it affects the people around us. Okay. So really think about that. Think about what it is that you do and what it is that you're trying to do and how it affects everybody around you. Okay. If I'm working late hours, how does that affect my wife? Okay. If I'm working late hours, does that mean I miss my son's game? Okay. If I'm not setting office hours like I talk about in my book, for my business owners out there that want to work and want to take business meetings and calls all different times of the night and the day, and we don't have any boundaries set up around our lives, and people don't respect our boundaries because we don't have just a small thing as office hours, time that we do business, right? That is so important in managing our lives, balancing our lives, managing the time that it takes to live our lives. Okay. So we have to make sure that we are calling the right plays. We have to make sure that we are being considerate and mindful of the people that are in our lives and what we do affects our lives. And it's no different from our children. Hey, your child can't do every single thing, or your child can't be involved in every single thing at this time, especially if it's going to affect what everybody else has going on. So some things we can do at this time, some things we can't do because other siblings have different obligations, so on and so forth, right? So just be mindful of the plays that you call. Just be mindful after the goals that you go after and and how you prioritize these goals, because everything is not for you at this moment. Okay. The next thing in creating balance, managing time, right? In creating that balance in your life. For me, that balance is business, work, family, right? Those are the things that I'm managing in my life, my career, my children's life, my relationship. Those are the different things that, are important to me and what I have to make sure remains balanced. Okay. So the next thing is for my go-getters out there, for my people that are goal-oriented, understanding the vision, right? And I talk about understanding the vision because it was important for me to understand my vision and making sure that my vision was clear to me, right? So we have all these different ideas and we have these different things that pop in our head and these different visions. But once we lock in and understand and figure out our purpose and we lock in on the vision, it has to be we have to really understand it. And what understanding it means is understanding that if I pursue this vision, if I pursue this goal, if I go after this vision, what does that look like? And yes, you cannot, predict the future, or no, you do not know with, what's going to come with every single thing or every single step that you make, but understanding the vision and understanding the possibilities of what can happen, right? And then once you understand the vision and it's clear to you, now you have to deliver the vision to whoever's around you, who's ever in your life, and make it clear and concise on what your vision is, what your goal is, and what are the possibilities and what this can look like, right? So let me break that down for what that means, right? So for me, before I wrote any of my books, right, I was speaking, I was consulting, I was brand managing, brand consulting, right? So and me wanting to be an author, me wanting to pursue more of a speaking career, and on top of that, start writing books. What does that really look like? And we can look at on the small end of, hey, we can possibly, do some vendor tables or some vendor opportunities. And we can say, hey, we doing these local events, and I'm, doing book signings, and I'm selling some books here and there, right? So we can look at on the small scale, right? But on the large scale, I can have a bestseller. On the large scale, I can now become in demand to where I have to start touring, or people want to buy my books in bulk, or people want to hear me speak based off my book, or people want to hear me speak and then I'm selling more books, right? So that's the vision, and those are the possibilities. And then so if I can reach that highest level, how does that affect my family? How does that affect the people that are in my life? Does my children now not get to see me? Does my children, who is important to me, do they not get to see me? Or because now I'm in the demand, and now I've just created myself to not necessarily be in a 9-to-5 busy every day, but now I'm busy in my own business and I still have no time for them. So really having to understand that, what does that do for my relationship? It's me and my wife not in sync anymore because I'm never around, right? So how do I adjust or navigate this vision, right? So I think that is very important in maintaining that balance and understanding the vision for yourself, understanding the vision you have for your life, understand the vision you have for your relationship, your children, whatever it is that you have going on in your life. Understand the vision. Okay, I think that with doing a couple of these things, it can help you start getting on track to a better balance, a healthier balance, on top of dieting, exercising, planning out your days, planning out your weeks. All these things I talk about in my book, Clock Management, which is available anywhere that books are sold. I think that you should go pick that up, because I go into a lot of different tips on helping you create that balance that you want in your life. Okay, this is another special edition of the Pint Size Podcast. You're rocking with Donovan Boyd, the marketing coach, and this is another episode of the Marketing Minute. I would like to personally thank everybody who has subscribed to the Pint Size Podcast. Make sure you like, share, and leave your reviews about this episode. We'll catch you next week with another episode of the Pint Size Podcast.